Hello, Joe and Kim. Thought we'd give, and I say we, here's Steve.
Hi.
We are going to give you a tour of your engine work to date so far. Have your block cleaned, and we got it, it's bored for the pistons, which you can see over here. We've got the crankshaft, it's all been machined, and it's a beautiful thing. And right now we're going to check something very critical, the end float, end play on the crankshaft. And this is done with this dial indicator, and Steve is down there prying on the crankshaft, because the crankshaft actually physically moves back and forth. It cannot be held, rock solid. It has to move a little bit. And so what we're doing is checking to make sure you got the proper amount of movement. Let's get this oriented right here, and we want this all. Let Steve go ahead and mash on it, and what we'll do is see. All right, that's good. We're zeroed there. Now go the other way, and you can see we got right at 5 thousandths end play, which is right where we want it to be. Typically, it's 4 to 5 thousandths clearance. So each one of these marks is 1/1000th of an inch. So that the clearance on the crankshaft moving back and forth is a thickness of 2.5 human hairs, right where it's supposed to be.
And if we get that off the deal, we can show them.
Now, go ahead. You can tell them what you did here.
Oh, we're just checking to make sure that everything moves the way it's supposed to, and the bearing clearances are set, and you can see that gravity will allow the crankshaft to just rotate. It's all nice and smooth, which is what we want.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. Very nice clearances. Now we've also done the same thing with all the connecting rods. Had installed them on the journals and made sure the clearances were correct there. Also, the rods have all been balanced, and let's see, that one is nothing been done on the end of it, so that would be the reference rod.
But it's been balanced at the top.
On that end, okay. So what you do is you get the heaviest end here and the heaviest end here, and then, no, you get the lightest, and then you grind all the rest to meet the light one.
Yeah, this one's been...
So that one's been, so this one would have been the light end, and this big end down here would have been the heavy end, so you make this one match this one. So
they actually have a machine, a scale has a pin, and it'll hang off of one end and weigh this end, and then they turn it around and they'll hang it off this end and weigh this end. And so they measure the complete weight of the whole thing, and then they measure this end weight and this end weight, and they make sure that not only are they all four the exact same weight, but each end weighs the same, so that as it rotates, it stays in balance.
Right. So this one here, for instance, was the reference point to meet. This is the light one, and then all the others were ground down to match the weight of the one on the left here. So those are that's what you mean when they say they balance the engine. And also we're balancing the pistons, and you can see all kinds of marks on the pistons. Well, obviously this is the hole, this piston number 1, because they're fitted each hole. And then that's the weight in grams of the piston. And that was duplicated on all the others.
Right. And then they're also specifically for each bore.
The size.
See, this one's 33849. This is 33848. So there, it's a tenth of a thousandths difference in outside diameter. This one's 33847.
And that's and when you get down to the 4th decimal place, that's is that splitting a human hair in like 10
It's
sections?
hard to say, but this is a tenth.
Huge.
This is a tenth. This is a hundredth. This is a thousandth. This is 10,000ths of an inch.
Right, 1/10,000th of an inch separation between.
So your smallest one is 7, and your largest one is 9. So you've got 2 10,000ths of an inch variance in diameter between